So as students, I think we're really good at ignoring our problems. So like we have a essay due, right? And we're like, man, I can hold it off for like, we can just pretend not to see it for like a long time. But just like Aldous Huxley said, facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored. And so, am I nervous as hell right now? Fact. Does my hair always look insane? Fact. So I have two examples, and one is me as a student, and then one me as an athlete. As a student, so I have a paper that's due on Sunday, which I've been like putting off, but it doesn't. The thing is, like, it's still gonna be there, no matter how much I ignore it, no matter how much I don't want to do it. And my other example is that when I was told that like I could like never play sports again because my knees were just like, they were beyond like repairable. Like I'm only good to walk. Like I can't even be on the sports team anymore. Like I really didn't pay attention to like the doctor's instructions. And so I kept trying to play on it, My knees got swollen. There was a point where I just like couldn't walk anymore. And I was devastated, but again, I kept, I really thought like I wasn't facing reality. And the thing with that is that if you don't face reality, it's just, the facts are gonna hit you like even harder if you don't accept it. So I do agree with Aldous Huxley that the facts don't cease to exist just because you're ignoring them. Thank you very much.
Well, you get to keep that. That's your souvenir for the day. If you want it signed, that's a $5 charge. Well, I like the visualization that you have at the start of the speech immediately. You are engaged with talking about the subject. You transitioned the topic very well. Your point of view is relatively clear. It sounds like you've got two examples that you want to talk about, so it sounds like there's going to be a structure here. And you do have the two examples. You don't do much detail on each of them. I'm wondering, okay, so what is the class that this essay is due for on Sunday? What is it you're writing about? Yeah, you can tell us. We won't rat you out to your teacher, and you can probably make it an interesting story. Why do you keep putting it off? Why haven't you gotten into it? How is it bothering you? Those kinds of. So I think you're missing the opportunity to personalize it a little bit, talk about something that you understand well, which is yourself, and make it a little bit more interesting. It just stays at a very generic level here. I think everybody can identify with what you're talking about, but they're probably not going to relate to it the exact same way. And then I thought you were better with the second example, talking about the advice that you ignored from the doctors, the difficulty that you had with your knees and your sports career and that sort of thing. I do think that there could be a little bit more detail on some of those points, but I thought that one was developed a little bit more. I think you improved a lot from whatever it was an hour ago that we were listening to you in a couple of ways. First of all, I thought your pace was a lot more reasonable for the presentation. It didn't feel like you were rushing. It felt like you were engaged and thinking about what you were talking about. Your audience contact was very solid. You are looking at us and you're engaged while you're talking, and I felt really like you had made an effort to make this a speech where you're talking with people and to people, not just in front of people. And I think you can notice that difference. Maybe it won't seem that way when you look at the two speeches because they'll be, pretty close to each other. But I saw it differently each of those times. And I did like the conclusion of the speech where you basically, remind us, here's the point that I'm trying to make, that I agree with this person, and I thought that finished off pretty well. All right, thank you.